Alright, we're back with more Mario 64. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at World 3. I know I called Cool Mountain World 3 in the last part, but that's actually World 4. We are going to be looking at World 3 proper, Jolly Roger Bay, not to be confused with a Banjo-Tooie level of a similar name being Jolly Roger's Lagoon. I got the names mixed up all the time when I was younger. So before I just jump on into this painting's a little different in the Japanese version of this game. In the Japanese version, this painting is just a painting of bubbles, and I don't know, I think that the ship in the painting actually gives the painting a bit more life. That's just me, personally. So plundering the sunken ship is a pretty simple star, all things considered, even though I think that this is where the stars start getting a little bit trickier to collect. So to run over the swimming controls really quick, using the A button allows Mario to do this breaststroke to propel himself forward, using the B button allows him to do this cat swipe, which for the longest time I thought was absolutely useless, but it's actually used to grab items underwater such as boxes and shells and the such. Pulling back on the analog stick and hitting the jump button allows him to jump out of the water, and using the analog stick while underwater will change Mario's direction and position under the water. Now Mario will lose health while he's underwater, so in order to replenish his health, you simply just grab a coin, or you just head up to the surface of the water, and just like that, Mario will regain his health. So our first order of business in this particular stage is to come on down to the sunken ship. And what we're going to do is we're going to swim right in front of the eel, Unagi, who is hanging out in the ship. Once that is done, we're going to head up to the surface, which will pull him out of the ship. So if we head back underwater after regaining our health, we can now see him swimming around down there. So now that he's out of the ship, we're going to head into the ship, as that is where our first star of the stage is located. So once we're in the ship, we're presented our first treasure chest puzzle. Now, I think that this is a kind of puzzle that wouldn't feel too out of place in a Legend of Zelda game, but I think it's kinda out of place in a Mario game, but in this particular game, I think it works. So to solve the puzzle, all we have to do is simply open the boxes in the correct order and head up to the back of the ship, or the front, depending on how you want to look at it. Inside that box is our first star of the day. Break it, and we're able to collect our first star. So can the eel come out to play is a similar star to plunder in the sunken ship, as we have to deal with the eel again, which means we have to go back underwater and screw around with Unagi. However, this star is a little bit more complex. I know you can see that star, but don't worry, we're going to be getting it later. We need a situational power-up in order to get that star in the first place. So what we're going to do is we're going to position Mario against this wall and try to get the camera out of bounds. Mainly so we can see just where the star is positioned in the wall. Now what we have to do is we basically swim into Unagi's tail and touch the star on the tip of his tail. That will free it, making it ours for the collecting. And just like that, another star. So, Treasure of the Ocean Cave is our second star back-to-back that I think is kinda similar to Plunder in the Sunken Ship. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head right back underwater, right over to Unagi again. However, we don't have to deal with Unagi. You see that opening there on the left-hand side? Well, we're gonna swim into this cave. This will bring us to the Ocean Cave, which is where our next star is located. Now there are some obstacles we have to avoid in this area, mainly being some falling rocks and some Goombas, but the obstacles are rather telegraphed as to where they're gonna fall, so nothing's really too problematic. So we're brought to another treasure chest puzzle, and like the first one, all we have to do is just open the boxes in the right order to get our next star. Good positioning! Still not doing red coins. So what we're gonna do, instead of doing the red coins, is we're gonna come straight over here to this first platform over here and talk to that Bob-omb buddy up there, as he's going to prepare our cannon, allowing us to get our next star. Come on, Mario. There. Grab the edge! There we go. That was more difficult than it needed to be. So once we have our cannon prepared, we'll be able to get our next star. Now, I don't know if it's just a Switch version thing or if it's a Shindo thing, even though this version of Mario 64 is the Shindo version. But for the years I've been playing this game, I've always remembered our next star in a box, but in this version, the star is just out and about on this platform here, just free for anyone to grab. See? But I'm pretty sure that this star was in a box in the original N64 version. But with that, we've got all the stars we're going to be collecting here.